Hello, students. Welcome to Easy Elimu Learning Simplified. My name is Mr. Stanley Ombogo. So, dear students, it feels really nice having you in this episode. And today, I'd like to take you through an area under writing, and that is paraphrasing. Paraphrasing. So, talking about paraphrasing, dear students. To paraphrase simply means to put in your own words, or we can call it rewarding. So it is one's own interpretation of essential information and ideas expressed by someone else, but presented in a new form. So it is a more detailed restatement than a summary, which focuses concisely on a single main idea. So talking about summary, remember a summary is a brief statement or account of the main things or points. So summary writing is tested a lot, when handling passages or comprehension questions. So paraphrasing, we are told, is a more detailed restatement than a summary. So what are some of the steps to effective paraphrasing? So talking about the steps to effective paraphrasing, dear students, below are some suggestions on the step to follow when writing a good paraphrase. So the first step that we are required to follow is number one, read and reread the original passage until you understand its full meaning. So that is the first thing that you must do before you write your paraphrase. So ensure that you read and reread the original passage until you understand its full meaning. Secondly, uh, identify some of the main ideas. So when we talk about the main ideas, we are referring to the author's basic points. So try and identify some of the main ideas expressed in the passage you are paraphrasing. Then the third step is that set the original aside and write your paraphrase on a notebook using your own words. So when doing this, ensure that the sentences are complete and well punctuated. So your sentences must be complete and well punctuated. So the fourth step is that you jot down a few words below your paraphrase to remind you later how you imagine using the material. Then the fifth step, we are told that check your version with the original to make sure that yours accurately expresses all the essential information in a new form. So remember, when doing a paraphrase, the aim is not to change. The aim or the idea is not to change the meaning of the original text or passage. We are still maintaining the meaning of the original passage or text, but it is now presented in a new form. That is, we have replaced the original words with the new ones that still mean the same thing. So ensure that the meaning, the original meaning of the passage or the text is not lost. So on to the last step, dear students, ensure that you use quotation marks to identify any unique term or phrase that you have borrowed exactly from the source. So we have got paraphrasing in sentences, that is a restatement in sentences. We also have got paraphrasing in paragraphs. So I've got two samples. The first sample is having that is a paraphrase in a sentence. So we are having an original sentence, then we have a paraphrase of the original. Then the second sample is a sample that is having or showing paraphrasing in paragraphs. So it's also having an original passage or paragraph and a paraphrase of the same paragraph. So let me start by going through the first sample, that is paraphrasing in sentences. So the example that we have, I'm going to start with the original. Giraffes like acacia leaves and hay, and they consume 75 pounds of food a day. So that's the original. So the paraphrase is a giraffe can eat up to 75 pounds of acacia leaves and hay every day. So looking at the two sentences, the main idea that we have, is still retained in the paraphrase. And again, the meaning is not lost. What we have done is simply to reward the original sentence. So looking at the second sample, that is a sample containing paraphrase in paragraphs. I'm going to start, that is by reading the original before I move to the paraphrase. So the original reads, in The Sopranos, the mob is besieged as much by inner infidelity as it is by the federal government. Early in the series, the greatest threat to Tony's family is his own biological family. One of his closest associates turns witness for the FBI. His mother colludes with his uncle to contract a hit on Tony, and his kids click through websites that track the federal crackdown in Tony's gangland. So that is the original paragraph. Now, I'm going to read a paraphrase of the original. So, in the first season of The Sopranos, Tony Soprano's mobster activities are more threatened by members of his biological family than by agents of the federal government. This familial betrayal is multi-pronged. Tony's closest friend is an FBI informant. His mother and uncle are conspiring, to have him killed, and his children are surfing the web for information about his activities. So again, looking at the paraphrase, you realize that it still conveys the same message that we had in the original paragraph. So here are some summary of some of the changes seen in the paraphrase. So in the original paragraph, we had early in the series. So in our paraphrase, it is replaced by first season. Again, in the original paragraph, we had more, that is the phrase used was more threatened. Then, in our paraphrase, we have greatest threat. Then again, in the original, we had closest friend. And in the paraphrase, it is now closest associates. Then, uh, second last, we had this line, his mother colludes with his uncle. Then in our paraphrase, it is written, his mother and uncle are conspiring. Then lastly, there was also this other line used, that is, his kids click through websites. Then in our paraphrase, it is written, his children are surfing the web. So, dear students, avoiding plagiarism. What is all about this? So there is a fine line between plagiarism and paraphrasing. So if the wording of the paraphrase is too close to the wording of the original content, then it is plagiarism, what we normally call the plag. This is when you copy the work of the original author or writer without changing a thing. So the main ideas need to come through, but the wording has to be your own. That is, if you want to avoid plagiarism, ensure that the main ideas that we have in the original text are retained, but the wording has to be your own. So another thing is that to use another person's writing in your own can be accomplished with quotes and citations. So a quote will need to be exact wording, and the author and source will need to be identified. So if you want to use, the work, the exact words that is of the original author, then you can go ahead and quote them. So quoting them or putting them in within quotation speech marks will simply indicate or alert the reader that those are not your own words. Then lastly, paraphrasing usually makes the passage shorter than the original. So another option is to use a summary that is much shorter than the original and is an overview of the main points. So, dear students, that brings us to the end of the episode. Thank you for watching till the end, and remember to always keep it easy, Elimu. Until next time, bye.